As you watch this clip, consider, given the state of our economic, social, health, and environmental condition, who needs this and for what purpose?
As with most things that are new and strange in our lives, Hollywood has made us rather fearful of artificial intelligence, or AI. How many movies have you seen where killer robots or supercomputers use their advanced capabilities to enslave mankind? But as we shall see, AI and its dance partner robotics might not be the nemesis we should fear, at least not if we get them right. Problems once solved only by humans are now routinely managed by AI, and the transition seems to have been seamless. As with human intelligence, the essential questions about AI are where it comes from and the uses it is put to. Chances are you have already made contact with an artificial intelligence sometime today and didn't even know it. Used a mobile phone, surfed the net or used a search bot, social media app or email, watched streaming TV, bought or sold shares, used an elevator, worked in a smart building, caught public transport or been guided by GPS maps? Well then, an AI was almost certainly involved.
Quite obvious, we think our intelligence comes from the brain, so why don't we make an artificial brain? People have studied how the brain works, and actually we still don't completely understand how the brain works, but we've got a fairly good idea now. And neurons are one of the main things in our brain, so the neural network is the computer equivalent of how the brain works. In technical terms, you have some inputs and you have some outputs, and the neurons are the function in the middle. They might add the numbers, for example, if it was a really simple system, or they might do something more complicated. With that kind of neural network, you can only solve relatively simple problems. So early on, that technology was very exciting, but then it didn't really work for more complicated things like, for example, images. Then the neural network community came up with more advanced designs, and they call them deep learning designs. And it's a little bit like a neural network with more inputs and more layers. So deep learning to me is more complicated neural networks in a way. And it works really well actually, because it can now process much larger quantities of data and solve much more difficult problems.
Put very simply, machine learning is the science of making computers learn from the data they analyze, identify patterns, and make decisions while keeping human hands-on intervention to a minimum.
So I think AI is used a lot these days already, and sometimes it's hidden so you don't notice that. I mean, the classic examples where you might know is in your washing machine. You know, now the washing machine uses fuzzy logic, which is one version of AI, or maybe you heard of that. That was something more people started to get aware of. But I think AI is actually used a lot. I mean, for example, did you come by a tram this morning? Well, the timetable for the tram was designed by AI, for example. So you wouldn't know that, but that's how it's done. Already AI is used a lot for medical data to help with things. And talking to a doctor, you might not be aware of that, but already they're benefiting from this. So it's used a lot, but it's still in the early stages, and I think the use will increase further and further. Currently, we get approached by a lot of industries and companies who haven't maybe used AI so much, and they suddenly realize the potential.
So the deep learning part of it refers to a particular neural network or a particular machine learning algorithm set up in a particular way and played itself millions and millions and millions of times.
So as we've been studying this for some time, I mean, one of the things about intelligence is creativity. For me, at least, that's very important. And that's one thing we're struggling with a little bit at the moment, how to make things not just fast and, automated, but now we're thinking it has to be creative as well.
When a website recommends specific items to you, it has used machine learning to analyze your buying history.
So that would be really simple. That's more like the automation. It's like they leave a cookie on your computer, they remember what you looked at before, and then maybe the ones you clicked at, you get again or something, that kind of thing. It's not very AI. AI would be if they give you an advert which is somehow similar to the previous one, but not the same. So maybe you clicked on CDs, and now you're getting a CD player. That might be AI. Or something like you click on Mexican recipe and then you get a Mexican restaurant or something. That might be, that might be where the AI comes in. And actually, this idea of what's similar is quite difficult for AI still. We have to learn that over a long time. You know, why is a Mexican restaurant similar to a Mexican recipe? I don't know. It's quite advanced, actually, for a computer to figure that out.